Hey guys, we're at the GTA Fun Shoot today, checking out the FX Independence, a very, very fine FX rifle, as all FX guns are. And we're going to go through the gun a little bit, tell you guys what's going on with it, even take some shots for you guys, and see what's up. Alright guys, as you can see, this fine synthetic stock here, thumb hole stock. As you can see, it has that FX Royale style cocking lever. Yeah. Real smooth action, real smooth. You could do it with one finger if you wanted to. FX safety, normal style, just like on my Cyclone. Red, you're dead, and that's safe. As you can see, now we get into the pump arm here. This is what makes the Independence so unique, is it actually has an integral pump, and you do not need well, in theory, you don't need a tank to fill it, which is a really nice feature. You can fill it solely from this pump if you wanted to. As there you can see that that trigger, typical FX trigger, breaks at about 1.5 pounds. This one has been played with a little bit, breaks a little lower than that. Very nice triggers on these FX guns. Got a Hawk Sidewinder 6.5 to 20 half-mil dot scope up top. Very nice scope as well. This combo makes this gun a deadly accurate machine. There you can see the FX Independence name. Near the other side of that air tube. Flip the gun over real quick. There you can see you got your fill nipple if you were to fill the gun with a pump. Or I mean with a tank or a pump for that matter. Even though you have the pump on it already, like I said. And then we got that air gauge. This is probably the most detailed air gauge I've ever seen. Very nice, tells you exactly where you're at all times. One thing I forgot to mention on this gun, it does have an adjustable butt pad, as you can see. And a little bit more about the pump. I realized I didn't address the amount of pumps required per shot. It is about 3 pumps per shot, so once you're full, whatever your sweet spot's at, every time you take a shot, you're going to have to pump that gun 3 times before you're back up at that same pressure where you started. In 177, it is about 1 pump per shot. And I think for 25, which is the new Independence Extreme version, which is supposed to be like 70 foot-pounds or something, pretty ridiculous like that, you're supposed to be around 5 to 7 pumps per shot, I think. I'm not too sure if they have that ironed out yet. But like I said, 22, which is the one I was taking a look at the fun shoot there, is 3 pumps per shot. I'm going to show you guys how it pumps here. And as you can see, that lets up, you go all the way to the top. You go all the way to the top of the stroke and bring it back in. Definitely easier than pumping up a Marauder or something like that with a pump past about 2,500 psi. I'd relate it. It's kind of like the last pump if you're pumping up your 760 or Airmaster 77, one of those pump guns like that. It's kind of like the same difficulty as that last pump. Not very difficult at all. As you can see, give you a look at it again. It is a pretty long gun, and it's got a good weight to it for hunting. I think it keeps you stable for sure. And the shroud up top, damn quiet. Damn quiet. Alright guys, so we're going to be shooting at that target out there. It's about 50 yards away. As you can see, that target we were just looking at is 50. Can't get you guys a perfect view, but that's alright. We'll go set the camera on target and we'll see how we do. So that looks about good on the micrometer. Let's see how far. Little over 1/2 inch. Pretty darn good from the FX Independence. At 50 yards, I'll show you where we're shooting from. Shooting from right back there, so pretty good distance out there. Alright guys, so to wrap this video up, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit more about the gun, just in terms of what it's doing. I know that was a very quick look at the gun. First, I want to say that grouping of 0.6 inches was not necessarily truly telling of that gun. Yes, it was at 50 yards, and that's not a bad group, but that gun had produced some sub-1/2 inch groups that were just incredible over the course of the weekend of the fun shoot. Definitely had a 0.32 inch group on that gun, which was just incredible. Did some shooting at 100 yards as well, and the owner of it was having a great weekend shooting there. And he knows his gun really, really well. and he does very, very good shooting with it. He even splattered a fly out at 50 yards that was on one of the targets. But a little bit more about the gun itself. The gun, when it was chronied, was doing about 30 foot-pounds with JSB 18 grain pellets. That's pretty darn good energy out of that gun. If you were to fill up to 200 bar and then shoot it down until, your curve, you'd get about 9 or 10 shots. That pump really takes up a lot of that airspace. So you're not going to get a whole lot of shots out of that gun, but then again, you have the onboard pump, so it's not really an issue. The best grouping with that gun was a .32 inch group. Very, very impressive. Easily covered by a dime. Most of the groups that were shot that day were covered by a dime. The group we got on camera was not exactly, I think, telling of what the gun had been doing. But overall, it's a really impressive gun, and obviously it's pretty revolutionary in terms of the technology involved in it and just having that independence in owning a PCP gun. The FX Independence is a really, really sweet gun, and a little bit on the expensive side, but definitely worth a look if you want to go completely independent of tanks and fill equipment and all that stuff. So I appreciate you guys for joining me, and we'll see you at the next one. Thanks, guys.